The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, the Braves helped me with the decision for tonight. I don't have to say, well, am I going to carry the Falcons or the Braves? Yeah, it's the Falcons because the Braves won't be playing tonight.
Yeah, that's what Brian Snicker told the Braves. We can't win this game because WIFO FM has a Falcon game. They caved it in. That's what the reason.
Way to go, Snicker. We appreciate you helping us out here with our decision.
I felt sorry for that poor manager. Like I said, Max Fried went out there. He gets hurt during the game, and they interviewed Brian Snicker about the third inning, and he was just, you could just see the frustration. Just like what can go wrong will go wrong with this team. I mean, they fought hard.
They scrapped all year long with all those injuries. Still got in the playoffs, and was 2 runs away from advancing to play the Dodgers.
So they say there's always next year. That's what they
There's
say.
always next year. Well, Braves have been in the playoffs now for, I think, last 7 or 8 years in a row. Won the division for 6 years in a row. Won the World Series, 3 years ago? So, yeah.
Sad thing is, the last 7 years they've been in the playoffs. 5 of the 7 years they've been bounced in the first round. So that's not good. So, won World Series in that 7-year period, but.
Well, let's just put a dark cloud around all the good baseball they've been playing, Bob. Jeez. God, Lord.
That's the facts. The facts are the facts. You know?
Oh, Lord.
I mean, 5 of the 7 years bounced in the first round. It's not
Look
good.
at the teams out there would love to get in the playoffs for 7 years in a row. We've been there. Of course, we've been bounced, sometimes in the first, sometimes in the series, sometimes the second. It just varies. But at least they're playing good baseball. My God, put a cloud around some sunshine, Bob. Jeez.
Charlie Brown.
Wow, word. Oh, boy. Well, we got some sunshine in here this morning. We got Jason Weaver, the mayor of Scriven. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Good morning, man.
They had a nice event yesterday in Scriven, so I just thought I'd get it. They said the people have done this all over Wayne County, and I don't know them all, but just thanks to all those people who have done it. I've seen it time and time again. You drive by and somebody just brings a grill and starts cooking food and starts, handing out food to people who need food. So it's been a well-needed service. Wayne County always comes together, but you had a great event in Scriven yesterday. A bunch of people showed up, so tell us how the event went.
Man, it went phenomenal. We fed over 1,532 people.
Wow.
Right there in Scriven yesterday. Yep.
1,500. Did you have enough food?
Had enough food.
Because you said you had plenty of food.
Had plenty of food, and I'll tell you, it was a blessing because what happened, we started this. Me and my brother was talking, and we started, and we had 600 chickens, and we were like, man, that's 600.
Dead or alive?
Well, they were alive at one point.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, we even got a machine.
I didn't know if you had to kill them.
Oh yeah, we got a machine that'll do it all. We can come out one day. I'll show you. Ain't no problem.
Oh no, I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
We started preparing for days like this a few years ago.
Oh, did you?
Where we could live, off the pine tree roots and the.
Who's we?
My brother. He's
Is he a survivalist?
Man,
a prepper?
I don't
Is he
know
a prepper?
He's just a great.
You can't make fun of the preppers when you.
He's a great man. He's a great man, and he's got all these ideas. And one day we might be sticking chickens in this thing with little rubber nipples on it, beating feathers off of them, and the next day we might be building a shelter. I mean, he's just a go-getter and just a good dude.
So you had all those chickens. Let's go from there.
Yeah, we had all them chickens, and we was like 600. That's probably, that's a lot of food, man.
It is.
You know. And then late that night, he called me and wanted me to run over and meet with him. I did, and he said, man, I just don't think we got enough food. I said, man, you crazy. We got we can't pick these coolers up. I mean, the whole back of 2 trucks full. Well, thank the Lord, he had an intuition we didn't, because Republic Services got involved, and they bought a bunch of hamburgers and hot dogs, and our Scriven Fire Department had a bunch of hamburgers and hot dogs, and they got involved, and we got some from some other people, and then we start cooking, and Representative Meeks pulled up and said, man, all of a sudden, I just got a freezer. We figured out that just stopped working. Everything still froze, whatever, and he unloaded much sausage as I've ever seen. Circle F Woody Folsom sausage. I'm talking about. So we said, Jacob looked at me. He said, we got to have another grill. So I called one of my councilmen, Lee Stevenson, and we ran to his house and got his grill. So we wound up having 2 grills going. And then a fella that I don't know him, but his name's Mr. John, pulled up with just as much sausage and said, cook this. And before I knew, we fed 1,532 people with with full plates with corn on the cob and potatoes and
So you had the whole full meal there, just more than
we
enough
had
time to eat.
full meals, yes sir. And
Now, where did all these people come from?
I couldn't tell you. Out of the woodworks. I mean, there was people I ain't seen before. And Butch, I'm gonna tell you, this thing has been so humbling to so many people, and everybody has stories, and we'll have after out of it. But when you have people walk up that ask you, "Hey, can I get a shower? I mean, is there anywhere I can get showers?" Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Our fire station's open. You go take a shower. And one thing that we've learned, even though we are the city of Scriven, we're still rural. We're still rural Georgia, and I bet you nobody thought about horses and cows in this. When the power goes down, those wells can't run. So it has been a trying event for the Scriven. I call it the rodeo community because, we got a lot of rodeoers out there. Livestock, I guess you should say, community, trying to get water for horses and cows.
Did they get it from the city? Or
we let them come to the fire station, fill their totes. They got a lot of them's got those big clear totes, and they're hauling water. We've had to help some that are close by. I mean, this is something that we haven't had to handle before. Because
and here we are a week later after the storm, and there's still folks in Wayne County that don't have power.
Nobody in the Scriven County.
Outside the city limits.
Yeah, I shouldn't say Scriven County because somebody will think I'm in Sylvania, but you know what I mean. Outside the city limits has power.
In the Scriven area, outside the city limits.
Yeah.
Madry Springs
has
Odom got theirs last night.
Yeah. At one point, Georgia Power had 670 people out of power and 620 of them in Odom. I mean, that's a hard hit. And but and we have no idea when we're gonna get power. I mean, they're living on generators, and you got to decide what you're gonna run. I'm gonna run the freezer for 3 hours, and then Lord, I got to try to sleep. So maybe I can hook an air conditioner up or a fan or hook my well up to pump some water, or it's been a. My wife says she ain't made for pioneer times. I can tell you that. I said, "Well, my God, you got all this pioneer woman stuff. I thought you wanted to be like her." And I said, "I can't do it. I can't do it." I mean,
we're spoiled. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I mean, there was very few of our relatives that had air conditioners.
I told my kids, I said,
"My first car didn't have air conditioning."
I told my kids, I said, "This is how your great grandparents lived." Well, this ain't how we live. Well, yeah, because you don't know no better. I mean, that $13 a day power bill you've been fussing about for 2 years, it's sure better than that $56 fuel bill to run in that generator. I mean,
someone told me it's about $50 a day to run generators. Is that right?
If you running, it's costing me for my children, for our children's homes, it's costing us about $56 a day. But now that some things are open and some of them are able to go back to work. Now, when they're home, it costs us a little bit more. Because, now we they can shut it off in the daytime, so we're able to conserve a little bit. Some of these people's got some that run 18 hours. Some of them don't. I mean, some people ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I saw a lot of folks getting
bad.
I saw a lot of folks getting gas yesterday, and I wanted to yell at all of them. Just get a little bit and wait until tomorrow, because today gas is 30 cents a gallon cheaper because executive order by Governor Brian Kemp has taken the state gas tax off, and that's 30 cents. So I was watching yesterday different places and see what their prices are, and to see if they're going to drop it the full 30 cents because they're not having to pay it to the state.
Scriven did.
I looked at it this morning. Yeah, because it was right at $3 a gallon in some of the best places in town, and I'm going to see if it's $2.60 today.
It was $2.97.
If not, I'll talk about it in the morning.
Please do, because it was, and we'll report it, because it was $2.97 yesterday in Scriven. It's $2.67 this morning. And matter of fact, I done sent a text message to my staff and told them, I said, let's get a hold of Lewis Robertson. Let's go on and fill the tanks up now.
Yeah,
the big ones.
Yeah, because I don't know how long this. Did the governor say how long this is going to last?
No, he didn't. But
I'm sure you had a private conversation with him about it, didn't you?
I had several private conversations with him about several things. You can take that to the Capital City Bank. Some good ones and some bad ones. But
do you get more results with people than Bob does when he calls folks?
Bob, I'll have to let. Oh yeah, I do get results. I think Bob gets file 13 or something, whatever it is, and. But I had to let Bob. I mean, Bob can make the call to the governor too if he needs to. Don't let him fool you.
I know he could. That's what I'm saying. Do you get more results when he talks to people?
I'll be honest with you, man. It's been tough, and we're blessed, and I am blessed and humbled to be able to have a connection to these state and federal leaders where I call them and they answer. And I mean, Buddy Carter got in the truck and came to Scriven. I mean, he and I were on Fox News last night, so. I mean, Scriven, Georgia, you know, who would have thought Scriven, Georgia on Fox News?
Well, Buddy, you were with Buddy last night? When I saw Buddy at the 100th anniversary celebration of the Strand, you know, Ralph Hickok is standing there, you know, and Buddy started talking about this weight is lost, and I said, well, the mayor of Scriven doing the same thing. He said, well, Jason is, and I said, yeah, he's losing weight right like Ralph. And so, did he make a comment, anything about it? Or?
No, but I did hear a conversation that somebody had with him. They wanted to let me know. Said, have you heard about this? He said, listen, you don't need to tell me, because I can promise you Jason Weaver's already fully involved and done called me, and we are taking care of this, I can assure you, because I'm not going to stop. That's the one thing about me.
Take care of what?
Some of this federal stuff.
Oh, the federal stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't stop. I will stop whenever we get the solution we want. If we don't get the solution we want, then I'll let them know that that's not the solution we want in an all about nice way.
Okay.
But these people got to have help. Now, on that note, we're blessed, because if you have not had time, and I've had the opportunity, and a son-in-law with a phenomenal drone, to go to Hazelhurst and to go to Homerville and to go to Douglas
Valdosta,
and to go to Valdosta,
all that area over there, we're a lot worse than us.
my Lanta, I have. It's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, Bob showed me a picture yesterday of a gymnasium, and what was it, Jeff Davis?
Jeff Davis.
Yeah,
Just the roof just gone.
Gone.
And of course, that
Whole
messes up
side
the
of a brick building. Explain that. A whole side of a brick building just fall down. I mean, unbelievable. But you know. Former President Trump was in Valdosta last Thursday. I believe it was Thursday. I don't remember what day. I have to look at the phone. And former Senator Kelly Loeffler calls me on the phone and says, hey, we coming through. Do you need anything? And I said, I've kind of made a joke out of it, because that's all you can do in these times, either cry or laugh. So we've decided to laugh. And is everybody, what do you need? What do you need? Well, I need a 55 kW generator, 483 phase, pull 84 amps. Well, I don't got that. Okay, well, you can't help me then. Appreciate it. And on to the next person. So, you know, the Home Depot calls. What do you need? I tell them. They say, well, we don't have that. Oh, well, you can't help me then. Thank you. And you know, but she said, what do you need? I said, I'll tell you what I need. I need Donald Trump to say something from the podium to where Joe Biden will go to his office and sign this piece of FEMA paper that the governor and our state guys put in for emergency help. And I don't know what I didn't. She said, "Okay, we'll see what we can get done." And supposedly, you know, he prayed for everybody down there and wanted that. You know, we got to get resources here instead of sending them overseas. Our people needs help now. And Biden signed it that night, which I mean, thank the Lord. You know.
Have you seen or heard anything from our U.S. senators?
There was a conversation that was had with Senator Ossoff, and he was there in Valdosta, and I know that he has. I know that he's trying. But I haven't heard in my entire term from Senator Warnock.
And we get emails from Ossoff's office all the time about things that he's working on. He tries to work as much bipartisan as he possibly can.
He's a nice guy, Butch. He really is. And when we went through COVID and all that direct funding help for COVID to the cities and local governments, he was a major player in that, and he was very, very, very good. And I worked with him a lot on that, because I was on that committee for the government. But and he did a great job, and he's very personable, and he don't let the Democratic Republican thing cross the line when help is needed in a situation. Now, honestly, I'm just speaking from Jason. Senator Warnock, I've never heard from him in my life.
Yeah, we don't get anything from him either.
Yeah.
We do from Ossoff's
I met a lady that worked for him one time, and I made a fool of myself. But since then, I was able to, you know, tell her I'm sorry. But
I'm just making sure.
Because I told her what I felt about him, and I said I'm sorry. I'm at his age, and I told her straight up. I said I have no use for him. He hasn't never called me. He don't know where Scriven is. I mean, I don't. I mean, look, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. If you come see me in Scriven, I support you. But he ain't come. He don't even know where it is.
Senators have a lot of power.
That's right.
And because there's only 2 from each state, and so if you got your senators from your state trying to get that help to your area, you're more likely to get it than not.
Yeah, after that conversation, I received a phone call from the governor that said, "Hey, you be a little bit nicer to Miss Fulford. She's a nice lady." And I said, "Well, hey, I don't care. She works for that guy that won't even call me." I mean, that's the way I feel. I'm a down to earth. You know that. I'm gonna tell you like it is. And if he helped me, I'd be standing there helping him.
Yeah,
But made
well,
him help me.
that's when we come together as Americans when we have these disasters.
That's right.
It's not Republican, it's not Democrat,
And
it's
that's
not
sad, ain't it? That we can do it
come
in a
together.
disaster, but we
Yeah.
can't next Tuesday out, at the county commission meeting. We can't do that. We got to act like we ain't got no sense. And, I mean,
But as bad as we've got it all around here, you look at those pictures from North Carolina.
Oh, my.
With the flooding up there
and missing people.
People, hundreds of people still missing. The Chimney Rock where Dirty Dancing was filmed,
Yep.
and all those buildings there, and that resort up there, the mountain is gone.
Village-
It is gone.
The village of the Biltmore.
Yeah, it is gone. I mean, it's just floating down the lake in pieces.
There's a lady that reported that she was driving through, and there's just bodies on the side of the road. It's the most horrific thing. I mean, and we're gonna get it here. I mean, they're already telling us because all that water's coming down, that we might see some record highs in Omaha and Satilla.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday on the news.
Yeah.
They were monitoring the river level.
Yeah, we're going to monitor that. We've been up before where, Penn Holloway Creek neighborhood down there, you had to have a boat to get to the houses out there at one time. And that was way back with 98, 99, somewhere along in there. And that was the highest I ever remember the river being since I moved back 32 years ago.
Yeah. But, I back to what you asked me. I mean, 1122, their serve staff jumped in there and made all those plates. And with local people, Marquise Severson, Lee's wife, she gets a crew together every time something happens. And those ladies come over. And they did a phenomenal job and was very logistically organized. And so everybody got fed and, by Republic graciously helping and Omaha K9, which is my brother.
No, what is Omaha K9? I saw that and I said, what is that?
Omaha K9 Consulting is my brother's business that he trains obedience and gun dogs and drug dogs and cadaver dogs. And
Oh, he does?
basically trains dogs. And then he also owns Released Spa here in Jesup, the dog grooming studio in the old Jerry Mosley barbershop. And he owns...
That's called what again?
It's called Released.
Released?
Yeah, like
Spa.
Released.
Yeah.
Spa.
Mhm.
And he
He
also...
pretties up the dogs, huh? Makes them look good and smell good, right?
Yeah, the girls that work for him does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He cooks. And then he also
So I
owns-
got a 6-month-old half and half lab and bulldog, so he could help me train Layla.
He can train that dog. He can bathe that dog. He can make it smell good. He can do whatever you want him to do with that dog.
Okay,
I
Is that
promise
good?
you.
All right,
And
so,
then if it ain't no good, he'll tell you it ain't no good. Get you another.
yeah, well, Layla's learning really quickly on stuff. It's it's amazing how she's learning.
He owns the Pack. It's called the Pack on St. Simon's Island. It's a doggy daycare and grooming salon.
doggy daycare.
Yes, sir. They drop. I'm telling you, you ain't never seen nothing like it. You need to go look at.
So
some of
you
these.
got dogs. You can't leave them all day long. So you go take them to doggy daycare.
They take them to daycare for the day.
the pack.
Yep, and they take them and drop them off and go play bunco with their friends and come back and pick them up. It's the dangest thing I've ever seen. I tell my kids all the time, I said, y'all don't, the world we live in today, my daughter calls me and says, Daddy, I'm sick. Well, take 2 Tylenol or take an ibuprofen. What can you do? If my wife called me right now and said, Chrissy, which is our dog, is sick, oh my God, we got to go to the vet $10,000 later. But we ain't going to see about the kid, but we're going to get the dogs to the vet now. That's how people are today, man. I'm telling you. They're going to see about them
There's
dogs.
a lot of ladies out there said they'd give up their husband before they'd give up their pet.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. Crazy. And pet. So think about it.
Uh-huh.
No power, no water,
Uh-huh.
and the love we have for our animals now.
Right.
That's where we are in the county portion of the 315.
With the livestock out there,
Yeah.
you got to give them the water and the feed and all that, just like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and people's lost them. Like my brother lost a cow. The tree fell on, and we lost
wow.
a cow. Matter of fact, I think Donnie Ray lost a couple of goats. And
Yeah, that's what he was
Yeah,
mentioning.
okay.
His favorite goat.
His favorite
More like
goat.
a pet. He
Yeah.
lost.
So I mean, it's been a.
Someone wants to know, where can you dispose of old freezers?
Old freezers. All right, if you're in the Scriven area, or even if you ain't, I mean, I'll tell you what. We have a Republic dumpster sitting behind the ball field, and if you have a freezer, if you'll just set it beside it, we'll take care of it. From
Now, where's
government
this dumpster
fence.
again?
It's behind the baseball field.
Behind the baseball
Yep.
field.
Yep, they
there
brought
at Grace
one.
Community Park, right?
Yep, at the Grace Community Park.
So you see the dumpster there, just put it there,
That's
and
right.
y'all make sure it gets taken off.
Yep. And we also have, for our people, for our area, if you're able to haul your own limbs, You can. Our treatment plant on Sykes Road, we got it opened up, and we got a stash pile going there. You can haul. It's open from 8 to 4. The gates are. You can pull in. There's no way to miss the pile of limbs. You're more than welcome. The only thing we ask is please don't put trash in it, because we'll be able to dispose those limbs a different way. And if it's got trash in it, then it's a whole new, it's a whole new world.
Now, I noticed there's a lot of folks putting all their limbs and debris from the yard, natural debris right there next to the road on the side of it.
That's what we do in the city.
Now, is the county going to come pick that up?
Well,
they don't normally do that, though.
I don't know what they're going to do as far as the county. I know the county opened the inert landfill.
They did that.
All you need,
but you had to take it there.
But I don't know that the county has very many of those grapple trucks that can come pick up anymore.
I know the city of Jesup used to have them.
Right,
city
still got them. Yes,
city still got them.
Jesup
Okay.
and city of Scriven, and I'm sure Odom's doing the same thing. You put them on the right of way, we pick them up.
That's in Scriven.
Yes, and if you have a very large tree and you're in the city, I can't.
The city of Scriven.
I can't drive out to Kville.
No, you can't do that.
But we've got some paperwork where you can sign that'll allow us to pick it up with our backhoe for you. Versus, because you're talking about 85% elderly in Scriven, and they got a tree down like they showed on. Well, like it was on Fox News. You can't. They ain't even a chainsaw to cut that, and it's so big.
Wow. You said what percentage Scriven?
85.
85% of Scriven is what?
Elderly.
85% of Scriven is elderly.
Yep.
Wow. When you say elderly, what age group?
I prefer not to say a number.
55 above?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one. Somebody call me and tell me I'm 22 at heart.
How bad did the rodeo get? Bad.
It's bad. I tell you this: when the storm started,
the arena got pretty much destroyed.
When the storm started, I went down Hortense because we ride all our roads. When I got on the Scriven side, like the city side of Hortense, the rodeo arena, the tree fell at Harry and Emmylou's. I got some pictures of it. It's a big pine and blocked the whole road, so nobody could get in and out of Hortense. Jeremiah, we call him Frog, one of the rodeo guys, and my son-in-law cut that tree open and opened that road and drug it out the road that night during the storm with Jeremiah's pickup truck. But they got a lot of trees down, a lot of damage. I think Art and I talked a lot through this about does he need to move it, does he not? And I kept telling him to hang on because I got faith in the guys. Hang on, I got faith. And, we talked yesterday, and I said, Art, I got a lot of faith, brother, but there's a lot of damage everywhere, too. And he said, well, I think we're going to make this change. And I think it's good I think it's good all the way around. When then Odom Day moving their thing, kind of like just everybody can go, take a deep breath out, and now that stress ain't on us. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just heard your report this morning, and we got to speak the end of October. So at some state of the county, well, that's going to be fun because we know the state of the county now. But it's a disaster zone. Communication, man. We've learned a lot in this. When we debrief as leaders when this is over, there's a lot of things that get blown up on social media that ain't true. People think people ain't handling things. I promise you, since Thursday night, I've got staff that ain't been home since last Thursday night. These leaders, these guys in this county over here, I've seen them everywhere, every hour. We have worked. I'm telling you, we have worked. We have been there. We have been to the other side of Savannah to get fuel to keep a generator running so a water tower would run.
You can't believe.
I know it's
you cannot
crazy,
pay
man.
attention to those crazy comments on social media.
It is so crazy. It's so crazy.
You can't pay attention to it. It'll drive you nuts.
It will.
You just don't.
It will.
And people are just posting stuff. They have no basis of truth or facts.
And that's my whole. My whole is I want everybody happy. And everybody always tell me, you can't, Jason. You can't make everybody happy. Well, you know what? I'm gonna die trying, by God, because that's what I want. Is everybody happy. And it works sometimes. Sometimes it don't. And but I promise you, these leaders are working. They're working for every single person in this county. They are.
Yeah, when Donnie Ray came in today, he'd been up for us 2 days straight. Almost
Donnie
2 days straight working his buns off.
Donnie Ray ain't even. Donnie Ray doing this, and his family. He didn't even have a generator on his house for his family.
Right.
Let's be real about some things. We all suffering. You know what I mean? Everybody suffers, and we suffering together, and that's what makes Wayne County so great, and that's why we keep fighting for Wayne County, even through all the turmoil that we do have. There's great leaders in this community, and no, some single person might not like them. Heck, I probably got more than a handful that don't like me, but that's all right. I'm going to help you if you like me or you don't.
You'll
like
go
me.
yourself nuts trying to make everybody happy or trying to get everybody to like you. Let's put it that way. You just can't do that. No human being can do that.
Yeah, I mean these guys, we have been the worst part of this whole storm, Butch, was when these things right here went down. Cell phones went down because, we as government officials run on a certain frequency that when a storm comes, we're not supposed to lose service. Well, we lost service. So it looks like everybody else. And 3 days after was peaceful with no service. But the 12 hours immediate was horrific because I'm trying to get a generator to run that water tower, that special generator, and my last resort I call everybody in the world was Jimbo Boykin, and I finally got him on the phone, and we can't talk because it dropped the call time we do it.
Right.
Jimbo leaves Rayonier a job, drives to Scriven, finds Candace Boyette on a golf cart, and said, "Where would I find the mayor at?" He found me at the fire station. He said, "Hey, I had to drive over here to you because we only got an hour to make this decision before they close, and I found you a generator. Do you want us to get it?" And I mean, he told me the price or whatever. I said, "I don't matter. At this point, it don't matter what it is. We're going to lose water if we don't." And I said, "Please get it." Jimbo arranged it. Jimbo handled the whole thing. I'm telling you, God sent angels like Jimbo Boykin is why and what makes Wayne County so great. I mean, it's people like that. And that service going down, we couldn't make calls. We couldn't even call nobody to get what we needed for, that.
Were the hard lines still working?
No, nothing.
They weren't down too?
Everything down.
Okay.
And because, see, now, like, our phones run Comcast Business on the internet. So if the internet's down,
that goes.
The phone's
same
down.
way here at the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, we were
Now, the only time I
dead in
ever
the water.
completely lost cell phone service was on Sunday for about 8 hours, from around noon to around 8. That I completely lost it. Other time periods, I couldn't be inside the station to make phone calls or text messages. I had to step outside. It was like it was weak.
All my people were saying, my phone says SOS. I said, yeah, that stands for beep out of service.
And you can take that to the bank.
Capital City or Prime South, either one you want to deposit it in. Then they started running them cell towers on generators. Well, you'd have signal, and then when the generator run out of fuel, you'd know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have it for a while.
We got to get a hold of them, tell them to go fuel up the generator. They'd have to go fuel the generator up. I mean,
that's when they were spotty. It was coming in and out. It was weak, and then sometimes it'd be off for hours.
Yeah,
it was just hit and miss. And then if you're off, it's like when mine was off for the several hours, and then and it came back on. There were several text messages that popped up.
Yep.
Phone calls, you don't know whether you missed them or not.
Railroad. I mean, this thing exposed a lot that we'll learn from. Like you say, somebody told us yesterday, man, y'all have done a phenomenal job over here in Scriven. I mean, the governor, he was telling me, man, you done a phenomenal job. I said, well, I'm going to tell you something. We ain't had no plan. We just managing. I mean, we plan.
Just react.
Yeah, you got to be ready and be able to adapt. And like I say, you either cry or smile. And if you cry, then you need to get your butt out of that position you're in, because this is the time where leaders, you as citizens, elected leaders to lead. Let them lead, and if they lead you wrong, then guess what? It's great, because you can go back to the polls and you can elect somebody else to lead you.
Now, on railroad crossings where you got the crossbars coming down, the lights flashing, how does that work? Are they hooked up to
so what they
Power or Satilla?
Nope.
Or
yes, they are.
They are hooked up to that power.
Because
okay.
The only reason I know this is because I happened to look over there crossing the Friendly and seen a Honda generator sitting at the crossing. Mm-hmm. And I said, that ain't going to last till dark, I can tell you. I mean, somebody finna steal that baby, because, I mean, my God, generators going left and right everywhere. So I called the railroad guy, and I said, hey, man, y'all just going to sit that there? I need to put a cop over there? I mean, what's going on here? He said, we got a semi-load of them. We got one on every crossing from Jacksonville to there. And I said, and y'all trust them? He said, man, they got a little chain on them, whatever, da-da-da. But, I mean, I tell you, I wouldn't steal it, because probably got trackers in them, federal government. Man, you go under the prison, but that's how they run them crossings. They put one at every crossing.
Somebody mentioned to me about their generator being stolen from their garage.
Yeah.
Out there in the garage, with the open, so, and running, and next thing you know,
people were stuck coming
gone.
to the gas station, but
Can't
saying,
believe people
"I need to
still-
go inside. Can you watch my jugs of gas for me while we?"
Right.
Because our ladies at Friendly Express in Scriven knocked it out the park. When they opened up, I sent a cop up there for 3 straight days, and they had all their attendants come to work, and they put 4 in the parking lot, and they kept 2 lines because we're one-way streets, and we had to in Scrivener, and somebody got killed there because they didn't know. I mean, and they'd have one line coming in and one line coming in this side, and you go out up the other side, and if she'd tell you what pump to pull to, and it kept moving. It got long, but it kept moving, and nobody. I mean, I'm telling you, I have never seen. They done such a phenomenal job. To me, they have been the heroes in our city.
Well, that's a good thing you had heroes there because I heard about fights and other ones.
Oh yeah, well it was, and it worked phenomenal. If you wanted to go in the store and buy something, you pumped your gas and then you pulled over here and parked out of the way.
Right.
They kept the gas pumps moving instead of letting people pull up there, walk inside, card machine ain't reading, I mean, all this craziness. That's what was happening over here. Somebody go in there and go to the bathroom because they ain't had water at their house, and they'd be in the bathroom 30 minutes, parked at the pump out there, and I mean, I'd probably get pissed off too myself. I'll be honest with you.
Well, you live and learn of these storms like this. I was telling Bob back in the early '80s, we had an ice storm up in Aiken, and I did not fill up the day before the storm, and I regretted it the next day because I couldn't find gas anywhere. And so ever since then, when a storm's getting ready to come through, I fill up.
Yeah, I heard you on the radio.
I
said
filled
you
up
filled
Thursday during the day before the storm hit that night because you know how bad it was going to be, but just the prospects of a storm coming through. I've done that ever since then because you live and learn. Once something happens to you once, you learn from that mistake, and then next time. But I guarantee everybody will fill up next time before a storm comes
Here's the
through.
million-dollar question. I want to know where all these people are going because there wasn't a darn thing open, and there wasn't no darn where to go.
The traffic
and
out there was phenomenal, wasn't it?
We could not work on the roads. I know where they were going, riding around. Oh, God, let me go see this tree over here at Aunt Josie's that fell. Let me run over here, and, oh, man, let me get them pictures. And I mean, that's the worst thing. Brunswick put a curfew on, and everybody was like, has Wayne County got a curfew? Brunswick put one on at 9 o'clock, and they done that for a reason, to keep the people from riding. It wasn't because they needed a curfew. They just didn't need that many people out there on them roads. Because everybody, I was like, this car ain't had gas in it in 15 years up here at the gas station. Where in the world are they going? I mean,
there was a lot of traffic out there when most people weren't working, schools not in session, and all and so forth. And I'm thinking, and the other crazy thing was people not knowing the law on
a four-way stop.
Four-way stop. You come up to a light and it's off. There's no colors up there, red, green, or yellow. There's nothing. That's a four-way stop. But some people just went flying through there, and then they blow their horns at people who were pulling out from the road. Yeah, it's a four. That's you got to look at this. That's 4 stop signs sitting around that thing, and that's go, and the next person goes just like a four-way stop sign.
We had, knock on wood, we had no issues with running the 4 ways in Scriven. We didn't have to put an officer at them. I mean, people done what they're supposed to do. We came to Jesup 1 or 2 times, and I saw some of the running because, what happens? That's just generation, Butch. This generation don't have a clue. They don't know if that red light ain't working. They don't know what to do. What do I do? Red light ain't
driver's
working.
test.
I mean, what do I do? My phone ain't working. I mean, my phone ain't working. My God, we got to get.
They knew it at one time.
No,
they may have forgotten, but they knew it at one time.
Hey, they blow up a generator trying to charge the friggin' telephones and Xboxes. That's what they worry about.
Well, it was a good thing that y'all did in Scriven yesterday, giving out those 1,500 meals to everybody. I know that First Baptist Church in Jesup had free hot meals last night from 5 to 7, and there's other churches and organizations around doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're doing it again today at the depot. 1122 out of Jacksonville is bringing up an ungodly amount of Boston Butt barbecue, and they're doing barbecue plates at the depot starting at 11. And then somebody else is too.
Who's doing that there today?
Church of 1122 is doing that again at the depot today.
At the depot today.
Yep,
so they're
11.
giving away free meals today at the depot in downtown Jesup from when now?
11 o'clock. So I know
Starting
that.
at 11 o'clock.
Yep. But I know you was talking yesterday about hitting it right. Man, I'm telling you, this is getting good, ain't it? We can just go all around.
Yeah, we had somebody just text. People just texted about the fourth thing. People don't know what a four-way stop is on a regular day.
That's correct. That is correct.
That's about right.
I'm on the main highway. I get the right of way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Bob got power though, right?
He finally got power.
Yeah, I got
Finally
power.
got power.
Praise God.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, Alan Volsky come over yesterday morning when we was over there, and we were talking about the plan. He's a good one for y'all to get in here when this is over and let him just tell you how Georgia Power handles these situations. They got a whole city set up right outside of Hinesville on 196, where that car lot, where you used to could leave your car. They got a doctor, a nurse, a laundry attendant. They got cooks. They got sleeping quarters, shower quarters. And they bring these guys in. They set up, it looked like a military zone out there, tent.
They come in from all over the
Yeah, they're from
states
everywhere.
around
I
us.
mean, the
They
guys
do.
in Scrivener, some of them from Kentucky and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're from everywhere.
Speaking of laundry mats were packed after the storm because people power was off, and then you had some laundry mats in town that had power, and the cars just all around them trying to get those clothes washed because their power is off at their house.
Yeah. I mean, man, it's just been a humbling learning experience, and like I said, let the leaders lead. If we fail you, then you have the right to replace us, but I promise you, we ain't going to fail you on purpose. Everyone is busting their butt.
The city of Odom's got power, but it just says here, we have no power or cell service past the bridge in Odom. So apparently from Odom past the bridge to the county line, there's no power, I guess.
When we had no service, you got to think about when we had no service. Georgia, Alabama. You could go to the game. You could go to the top of the hill out at Waldron Lane, which is where you drop the hill to go to Little Satilla and Scriven. And you could park.
Y'all got a hill in Scriven?
Heck yeah, man.
Okay.
We mountainous. I mean, we're number one, Butch. We have everything, or a resource to everything. And you could sit on top of that hill and get cell service. Because the only reason I know this is Rob Royal told me, he's like, I got to run to Waldron Lane to check the scores. So he'd run out there on top of that hill. He'd come back and say, we're losing. I'm like, what?
Oh, boy.
I couldn't even listen, 94.5 carries the game.
They carried the game out of backstreet. They
It
were
wasn't
off there
on.
for several days.
They must have been out because
They
wasn't
were out
on.
for several days, way
Yeah.
past us. They were out because you're at mercy of what the power company can do for you. Yeah. And but there was a lot of stations out, from the Georgia Association of Broadcasters I'm very active in. We were been talking about the number of stations that were out, and we're going to work on a plan now with the power companies to try to get us moved up to right under hospitals and getting power back on.
Yeah, because y'all are the information services for everybody. I mean, it was,
we get emails from the different power Satilla and Georgia Power. We can't pass those along, so we're going to work on that once all this is done. It's nothing to talk about now.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do brief when it's done and say, all right, this is what we learned. And I guarantee you the next one will be different. You can take it to the bank.
We went all those years from the 60s all the way up until 2016 when Matthew hit with no hurricane hitting.
Yep.
And now it's 2016, 2017. And then we've had some major storms. Then we had Debbie in the summer, and then we had just had Helene.
Yep.
They're becoming more frequent. I
know.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have Jason. If we have Hurricane Jason, I'm leaving. That's the only one I'm leaving on.
Well, the other one, Kirk, is out there in the ocean. It's not coming our way.
Good.
It's already up to Cat 3, but it's going to hit Bermuda on that area up there. But Jason, we'll keep our eyes on Jason.
Yeah, well, JK. So if we got Kirk, then we're past the J's, so we're good for the year.
Yep. All right,
man.
Well, I'm glad that things went well in Scriven.
Yes.
All of the leaders here in Wayne County are working hard to get things done. The power companies, hats off to them for working 24 hours a day.
Amen.
Yeah, someone said this hurricane has brought Wayne County together unlike before.
That's right. And now our job is to keep it together. That's now we got it back together.
Good luck.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But it takes every single person and every keyboard warrior. Before you hit send, think about it. That's what I try to tell people. Think about it. And people have to tell me that too now, because I'll be getting mad.
You be saying some stuff too, Jason?
But I can get pissed off now. But I've been doing well since I've been on my medicine.
I'm glad you're on your meds.
Yeah, because this right here it'll bring the out in you. But if we have an opportunity, I feel it's probably Lord sent, because all we've went through in this community, and we're like, how will we ever get back together with all this division? Well, look, here it is. Now keep it together, by God.
Well, look what 9/11 did to America. We came together.
That's
but
right.
Look where we are right now.
That's right. And I
Well,
thank
Jason-
y'all. I thank y'all more than you can imagine. More people than you can imagine. I mean, you know that listen to this and listen to you guys every morning and the news you put and able to put out and you know, even something so simple as the birthday thing, man. Just look how it went whenever you were down, you were out for the birthday thing. I mean, look at
Yeah.
there's those kids and those people, man. That
They
just
didn't like
makes
that,
their
did they?
life
Yeah,
to
it
hear their
makes
name on
life
the
so
radio.
good. And that's why we're here to serve, and that's what we do.
And y'all do a phenomenal job.
Well, thank you, Jason. Appreciate you coming in
Yes,
this morning.
sir.
I know you got a lot of work to do
I
back
do.
down in
We
the
fixing to
Scriven.
go low waters.
All right, go low waters. All right. World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. And it's been brought to you by O.C. Welch Ford, by Murphy Butter Supply, First Southern Bank, and the service department at GNS Auto Sales on North 1st Street in Jesup.